Hello everybody, my name is Jay. I'm one of the expert IELTS teachers here at E2 Language. Let's take a look at the essay in IELTS Writing Task 2. What we're going to do is analyze a question prompt and we're going to plan for a high scoring essay. We're then going to look at some different structures. We're going to write with the criteria in mind. The criteria, of course, is what it's all about because that's what the examiners are looking for in your essay. Then, of course, we're going to check our work. Okay, when we analyze and plan, we should spend about 4 minutes. We'll spend about 32 minutes writing. Then we should spend another 4 minutes at the end checking. Let's analyze and plan this question prompt here. Okay, it says, it is predicted that robots are going to become increasingly important in our lives. How could robots be used in the future? Will this development be a positive or a negative development? Cool, so it says here something about positive or negative, which is in line with the advantages, disadvantages. But please make sure you read the question prompt carefully and just answer that. Although it's good to learn different structures for different essay prompts, etc., on test day, ultimately you need to be flexible and make sure you answer whatever it is in front of you. Cool, let's take a closer look at this question prompt. So, how could robots be used in the future is the first part. The second part says, will the increasing use of robots be a positive or negative development? So how we might plan for this might be like this. We might say that robots could be used in the future to replace humans in dangerous jobs like army or firefighting or space exploration. They could also be used in medicine, such as remote surgery, carers in aged care, or even hospitals. The second part we could answer like this. I'm going to say it's a positive development, and I'm going to say people won't have to risk their lives. And I'm also going to say that pressure will be reduced on medical staff and healthcare systems. And you can see how the second part there links to my first ideas. Okay, let's take a look at some possible structures. Okay, so we're going to start with an introduction, of course, and our introduction will have a background statement that sets the context of our essay, obviously based on the topic. Then we're going to drill in more specifically and look at the question prompt and write something about that. Then I'm going to answer it. I'm going to say what I will write about, plus I'm going to give my position there. I'm going to say it's going to be a positive or advantageous development. Then I'm going to write some paragraphs. I'm going to answer the first question in paragraph 1. I'm going to answer the second part of the question in paragraph 2. But of course, it all depends on test day how you decide to do this. I'm then going to end, of course, with a conclusion, which will have a broad statement where I then summarize my arguments and my position there. Okay, so looking at my notes and looking at that question prompt, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write 2 double idea paragraphs, because you can see that how I've planned for this, each of my ideas or each of the parts has 2 parts to it. So how that's going to work is like this. I'm going to have a double idea paragraph that has an umbrella statement, point 1, which I then extend, point 2, which I then extend. And in my second paragraph, I'm going to use the same double idea structure, an umbrella statement, point 1, extend, point 2, extend. I could, however, write this differently. I could have a single idea paragraph where I make a point, I explain it, I give an example, I show an effect, and then I provide a link back to the introduction and also to my second paragraph. And then I could do the exact same thing in the second paragraph with a single idea. So there are different ways to skin the cat here, or different ways to structure up your essay. This is totally fine. Okay, now let's write this essay with the criteria in mind. So, do you remember what the criteria are? There are 4. There's task response, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, and grammatical range and accuracy. Just to refresh your memory, you may want to pause the video and just read through these because these are so critical for you to get a high score. Okay, let's look at a sample essay, a high-scoring sample essay. So, just to read the question prompt again, it is predicted that robots are going to become increasingly important in our lives. How could robots be used in the future? And will this development be a positive or a negative development? Okay, here's the first double idea paragraph. So please pause the video, read this carefully, and take a look at how I've structured it according to that double idea structure. And once you've done that, read the second one and look at how this one also includes the umbrella statement, point 1, the extension, point 2, and the extension. Okie dokie, let's take a look at task response here, and let's see whether I presented a clear position or opinion throughout, because ultimately I did say that this is all going to be a positive development, so I should make sure that this is threaded throughout my entire essay. So I've said in the introduction, this development will be a positive one for humanity. In the second paragraph, where I specifically said it was going to be a positive development, I said clearly these advancements in robotics and AI will have a positive impact on society. And again, in my conclusion, I've said robots may enhance our lives beyond expectations. So I have presented a clear response. I haven't contradicted myself, which is good. Okay, let's now look at coherence and cohesion. Did I use a range of linking devices appropriately? If we look closely in the essay here, I've used pronouns like they and this, and ones, two important ones. I've used nice discourse markers like in addition to such roles, not only but also, indeed, such developments, etc. So you can see a number of areas where I've managed to use good coherence and cohesion. It's not sticking out and doesn't look kind of clunky. It's nicely weaved into my essay. Okay, let's think now about vocabulary. Did I demonstrate a wide range of vocabulary? Well, if you look closely at the essay here, I have used less common words that make sense in the context of my essay. I haven't just put in random, rare, cool sounding words. I've put in words that are precise to the context of this essay, like at an unprecedented rate or prevalent or play a major role. And you can see that I haven't just used single words, I've used collocations or phrases throughout the essay, such as sent to war or fight fires or explore space or commonplace, aged care facilities. Pause the video and take a look at some of this vocabulary. Okay, let's take a look at grammatical range and accuracy, and did I use some complex structures? Yes, I certainly did. You can see that sentence there, although robots are ... and then it has that second clause, ... It's critically important that in your essay you put in a range of structures. That is, some simple sentences, some compound sentences, but most importantly, you put in some complex sentences that have clauses. Please pause the video and take a look at these sentence structures. Okie dokie, let's now check our work to make sure we haven't left in any silly mistakes, which is very easy to do. So here are some common errors like subject-verb agreement, single plural nouns, articles, verb tenses, prepositions, fragments or non-grammatical sentences, wrong word, tone or vocabulary, the word form, collocations, missing words, too many words, word order, punctuation or spelling. And here are some issues. Can you fix these issues? If we take a closer look, I didn't need that comma there, so I had a punctuation error. I had the wrong pronoun. I had a singular pronoun where it should have been plural. I had the wrong be verb there. I should have had are. I had the wrong verb tense with sent. I had a funny word there. You don't make surgery, you perform surgery. So that was about word choice. There are a number of issues here which I've fixed in the 4 minutes that I've left myself before the essay is submitted or before the time runs out. Okay, so let's recap the method. So on test day, you want to analyze that question prompt very carefully. And you also need to plan, okay? You want to follow the structure, but there's no set structure for a specific essay prompt. You need to be flexible. You need to decide in the moment, on the day, whether you're going to use a single paragraph structure or a double idea paragraph structure. It all depends on the question prompt and the way that you plan. You might even include a third body paragraph if need be. Then we're going to write with the criteria in mind, and before the time is up, we're going to check our work for silly mistakes. Cool, make sure you practice this. You really do need to put pen to paper and write one of these essay types yourself. It's all good watching the video and getting ideas, but until you actually do it yourself, you're not really going to improve.